G'day Australia, it's Frosty from WA. I'm coming to you in my workshop. It's been a long project getting this workshop done, and I've been off YouTube and off the videos for a long time. I'm excited to say we now have a new project car. Let's check it out. So here she is. It's a ED XR6 Falcon, 1994 model, 95 model. She's mostly original paint. Not a bad looking car, but yeah, definitely shows its age. It's got 200,000 Ks on it, so if you get really close, the camera will pick it up. There's a lot of dents and bits and pieces, well, lots of chips and a little bit of damage on this door as well, which we need to get fixed up. Just there, wasn't me. But the reason why I bought this car is the interior. It's absolutely amazing. There's no tears, no rips. The seats are in perfect condition. The interior is in perfect condition. It's got the upgraded steering wheel in it, 5-speed manual. It's just a really tidy car inside, and it's probably the tightest car I could actually find when I was looking for one. There is no rust except for a cheeky little spot on the roof. So we'll just have a look at that now. So just there. So I'll have to get that fixed up. But these are very common for the sills to rust out, and guards and all sorts. So car is very clean. I had my mate Damien from Broken Sylvia. He actually did a paint restoration on this, and it was extremely faded previously. And what I'll do is I'll post up a video of the transformation, because he did an amazing job, and he normally doesn't do it. He doesn't do it anymore, but he did me a bit of a favour and got the paint restored.
It's written like cartoon. The jewelry and bitches I'm fucking with always the same, dripping like monsoon. Don't fuck with the platoon. We getting it popping like balloon, making moves like serpentine. Got all these dudes all come.
And it's just brought it up fantastic for this is a 30-odd-year-old car. It brought it up amazing. Look at that roof, and when you see the before shots, it was just it was disgusting. Even the boot came up pretty well, and yeah, she's a beast. I'll show you under the bonnet. All right, so the engine bay, not really a lot to say. The 6-cylinder 4 litres are a slug of a motor. The car's pretty slow, but it's got some pacemaker extractors on it, but totally factory engine. Yeah, everything's stock here. The only things that have been done is just down there. I fitted some thermo fans to the car and deleted the viscous hub. I thought it would make it sound nicer at idle, because you wouldn't have that viscous fan noise, but it still sounds like a stock 6-cylinder. It's a bit gay. So nothing special under the bonnet. It's obviously showing its signs of age. All the paint peel. Not really any oil leaks, which was surprising. But yeah, it's actually been it's been a good cruiser. I've been driving this around now for probably 12 months, so been very impressed. It's just a nice cruisy car, but it definitely needs freshen up, and it needs something more. I fitted the GTB 19-inch rims on the car, which I think made it look the best. I like the factory rims, but to me they don't do it like a big set of wheels do it on these cars. It's going to be hard to see why I've got the hoist in the way, but it just sits killer. So it's got some king springs in the rear, some levels in the front, just to get the height right, and it's wicked. It's got from factory the premium sound system, so the Alpine 6 CD stacker, Alpine speakers, but all the speakers are blown. It needs to get a new sound system in it, which will be on the cards at some point. We'll put something special in here. Other than that, it's got a 2.5 or 3-inch catback exhaust. The underbody is just so clean. At some point I'll get under there and I'll actually show you. There's no road grime, there's no muck or crap anywhere underneath that car. It's very, very impressive. So what's next for the car? I think we need to do something with that engine, because it's absolutely gutless. So let me show you what the plan is. exciting times. So everyone's always sort of just throws a cheap J-pipe on the side of these engines and puts a turbo on the car, which instantly gives them more power. But I think I'm going to do things a little bit differently. I'm going to put a 4-cylinder turbo in this car. That's right. No, I'm not going there. No, I'm joking. All right, so the plan is I just picked up, hello Roxy, I just picked up this AU XR6 engine for $150. $150. If I was to go and buy a second-hand RB26 6-cylinder motor, I'd be paying 10, 15 grand. This was $150. Now, she looks pretty rough, all right? A lot of surface rust, all the bolts missing. I mean, all the bolts, all the injectors, pretty much everything. But the plan will be, I'm going to actually remove this cylinder head, and I'm probably going to send it over east if I can't find anyone locally in WA. And I'm going to have that cylinder head overhauled. I'm going to get a port job, bigger valves. I'm going to go all out with this cylinder head. Bang for buck and price wise, from what I've seen, in comparison to JDM World and RB26 World, I'd pay $13,000 to $15,000 to completely port this cylinder head with oversized valves, double springs, yeah, killer CNC job, shimless buckets, just you name it. I would spend like $15,000 on something like that. This thing here, I think we'll be able to get it done for under 2.5 grand. The whole thing, valves, port, springs, cam. Now I might be wrong, but from the research I've done so far, it could be doable. And they'll go from, with the port job and the valve job, they go from like 120 CFM, 150 CFM on some engines. They'll go to like 280s CFM. So they'll flow way more with a port job through them. A correct port job, because you can really mess these up. You can really go backwards on these cylinder heads. So with any cylinder head really, but these especially. I'm going to get some guys involved over east, and we're going to port this head, put a nice cam in it. I'd like to put a mildish cam in it, nothing massive, because again, I want to play around with it, and I want to do some other things with it as well. Hey Rox, you want to say hello to everyone? Yeah. You want to go for walkie? Yeah? Alright, let's go. Alright, so what's going to happen? Cylinder heads are going to come off, go and get ported, cam, valve springs, the whole lot, bigger valves. Then bottom end, I'm going to actually try and do as much of this work as I can to keep prices as low as possible. So the plan will be, I'm going to pull apart the bottom end. I'm going to send everything out for machining, which will probably take 3 or 4 years. That's a joke, but probably not really. It's probably actually going to take that long. And then from there, I'm just going to do a piston rod combo, an I-beam rod. I've always loved diamond pistons in Falcon motors, but we might look at a different option of piston. Yeah, I-beam rods, decent heavy-duty big pistons. And then we'll balance the crank as best as we can with these 4-litre cranks. Put some race bearings in it, head studs, and just a nice rod piston combo in this thing. And now you're all asking, well, why would you do that? Well, I think we know where it's going. It's going to be turbocharged at some point. We're definitely going to throw a turbocharger at this car. First stage but to this is to do the motor, build the motor. I want to do a serpentine belt modification on this. So at the moment this runs 3 belts, which is not pleasant. I want to run a serpentine belt setup to clean up the front of the engine. So it will have a mix of EL, AU and XH tensioner. So we'll delete some of these items here, and then we'll fit an XH idler tensioner, and that will actually convert it to serpentine belt. Once we've done that, we're going to focus on, I'm getting rid of these manifolds, even though everyone raves over them and loves them. I think plumbing wise for a turbo kit, it looks super ugly when you have the pipe up and running around the back of the engine. So for example, it normally sits here and then it runs around the back there and it comes down here. I don't like that. But the ED has fantastic placement for its throttle body, which is down there. Don't worry about my Scotch locks. Yeah, so in regards to intercooler piping, I think that position is way better to get an intercooler pipe through than up the top here, and I think it'll look aesthetically more pleasing. There is a possibility we'll go a tunnel vision plenum, but ideally I want to try and keep this as stock as possible to start with, or stock looking. So what we'll do is we'll slowly upgrade stuff. So we'll fit the motor, we'll fit the extractors, we'll get the car run in and dialed in, and then the plan will be to update the fuel system, change out the rail injectors, do all that side of things, work on the ignition system as well, and put a decent ignition system in the car, put an ECU in the car. I've been looking into BABF ECUs to see if there's something that we can make compatible with this motor so we can get the tunability out of the engine. That'll be pretty cool. If not, I'll have a chat to the guys at Howtech and see if they want to get on board and help support this. If not, I'll probably just buy one of the ECUs anyway, because they're probably the easiest ECU to work with if you're starting out, and it's a very, very simple system to use. So maybe it might have a Howtech on it at some point. And then after that, once we've got everything dialed in, fuel system, intake, ECU, wiring, etc., then we'll step up and we will build a turbo kit for it. It's not going to be one of these J-piped, not very nice looking ones. I want to make it look really nice. I want the turbo position to sit perfectly. I want it to look good. I want it to look like when you pop the bonnet, it belongs there. It'll be beautiful. Stainless steel. We're going to spend a bit of money in this area to make sure we've got a good quality turbo on it and just make sure it looks presentable. And then from there, we've got to work out what sort of intercooler we'll put on there. So very exciting times. I'm stoked for this. I can't wait. So I think that's everything. So another thing that I'm not sure of yet is what gearbox we're going to be running behind the car. At the moment, the T5 will be alright with the built engine and ported head and cam setup. And I might just run a J3 chip as well, just to keep it running while I bed the motor in. Everyone wants me to go auto, but I'm not a fan of autos. I don't like them. But we'll see. I might have to, depending on how much power we go up to. I know this will hold maybe 400 horsepower, maybe 500 if you're gentle on it. We'll see where we go with that. It might end up with a T56 in it, TR6060 or T56 Magnum or something. But again, we'll cross that bridge when we break it. Just a quick look under the car. It is very, very clean for 200,000 Ks. I can't believe it, to be honest with you. I'm just sliding along on the chair, so sorry, hopefully you don't hear that. But diff's so clean. Like, have a look at the underbody. So there's a little bit of surface rust here, a little bit there, but look at this. There's not even any grime on it. It's just so clean. All the seals are in fantastic condition. No damage to them at all. And then look over here as well. Just really, really good condition. She's mint. No oil leaks. No, nothing really. Not even a dent in the sump. Did notice a little bit of something here, but again, it's just so clean for 200,000 Ks. Oh, I did forget I fitted new pads and rotors on the car, but yeah, she's pretty clean for her age. Forgot to mention, you have to excuse the mess over here. I've just been getting all my forward parts and bits and pieces out. I put most of the boxes away, but this is some of the stuff I'm going to be using. Exciting times. I hope you guys want to come along for the journey with me. I'm super excited about this. It's a lot lower, from what I can see, a lot lower budget than what the GDR was. The GDR was just ridiculous and just not financially viable for me to do another build on that car at this point. We shall see, but for now, the Red Beauty, the ED Falcon is going to be my go-to car to have some fun in. And I'm not going to go too crazy. Well, I said that about the GTR. But for now, I'm not going to go too crazy. We're just going to have some fun with it. Yeah, I'll try and be as in regards to the way I do this. I'm going to do step-by-step processes, so everyone will be hopefully everyone will be able to follow along with me. So I'm going to show the disassembly of the motor. I'm going to show the disassembly of the bottom end as well. I'll try and get some videos on the machining process, the porting process. I'm going to really go out of my way to ensure that someone can look at this YouTube video and actually go out to their own workshop and do it themselves. So I've seen a lot of YouTube videos out there where some people they start doing step by step, and then that process falls away, and then you sort of go, oh, what did they do here or what did they do there? You don't know. So my plan is to try and be as information heavy as possible, so other people at home can do what I'm doing. So wish me luck. I guarantee you there's going to be a lot of swear words and a lot of dramas, but I'm excited to bring this to you. Time to go for a drive. What the? Oh, looks like I'm in the back seat again. This sucks. Alright. No worries, Rox, you can drive. Bloody hell. I'm always in the back seat. This sucks. Oh, okay, you want me to drive now? Alright, no worries. I'll drive then.